On this episode of Delivering Marketing Joy, I talk with Charity Gibson, and she tells us why almost everyone is doing social media right. Hey there, and welcome to another edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. I am your host, Kirby Hasseman, and I'm very excited to have a great guest with me today, Charity Gibson from Green Banana Social and Next Products. Charity, thanks so much for joining me.
Happy to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, you and I have known each other for a little bit now, and one of the things I think about you, I've heard, a term thrown around when describing you is that, you are known a bit of as a disruptor a little bit in the industry. And so what changes do you see in our industry and in others? What do you see coming down the pike in the next few years?
Oh, that's a fun one. So I think, a lot of industry people have talked about this, trying to figure out what that shift is going to look like. Obviously, we've got the rise of e-commerce. Obviously, that's going to be huge. And people in my space after that. Go to a technology platform and excel there, or really figure out how to sell your strengths. And I think oftentimes distributors hear, oh, you need to add value to the sale and not just sell commodity product. But, quite honestly, we sell a commodity product. So I think the future of the industry is going to be figuring out kind of where you fit in the ecosystem and finding buyers that are going to be right for the way that you sell. And I think that's going to look different to different people, just like it looks different to different people now. So it's just a matter of being prepared and not rejecting. That's the number one big thing for me that I see, is that so many distributors don't see that things are changing, but it is. The carpet's being pulled out from under us, and it's going to go rather quickly. So I see a huge rise in retail-driven products coming into the industry, and in order to embrace that and keep the distributor model relevant, distributors are going to have to get rid of that fear of the suppliers selling direct and figure out how to work with suppliers so that so that they want us in the supply chain. They don't need us in the supply chain. So we have to keep ourselves relevant to them and embrace that product line coming into our industry and being available to us and not be scared of it and just dispel the fear. And so that's kind of where I see big changes. Definitely the retail needs to push the demand for the products in our industry. So it hasn't happened this far. We are seeing it slowly with I hate to say the word Yeti cooler, but that's one huge thing. I'm actually kind of proud of our industry for embracing that and getting that on our shelves and making that available to us as quickly as we did. So more things like that are going to happen. It's going to happen more rapidly, and you're going to have to keep on pace, jump on that treadmill and run as fast as you can to keep up.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've actually said several times, it's like I feel like people need to pick a lane. Either you're going to be price-based and e-commerce-based and commodity-based, or you're going to try to add services. And I feel like as we move forward, you're going to need to pick a lane. And that sounds like you were saying something similar there too. So
pretty much the same thing. Yeah, and I think that picking a lane, I don't hear a lot of people saying in the industry is that there's room for the commodity base and the price, that those, promo pushers are just going to be gone out of the marketplace. And I don't really see that. I think there's always going to be a need for commodity products. And I was just telling somebody the story today about a guy that was selling USB drives, and he wanted to push this really gorgeous, custom-shaped, molded USB drive to this particular client who was just buying basic 20,000 pieces at a time, straight-line copy, basic USB drive. And, it's going to be $1 more, but he put all this thought and energy and was trying to make it so beautiful. And when he gets there, the guy's like, well, why am I going to spend an extra buck on 20,000 USB drives? Sometimes they just want it. And one of those distributors is going home eating a steak dinner tonight, and the other one is out all that time and effort and money. So somebody's going to get that order. And if you're out there doing what you do best and knowing how your clients want to be spoken to and communicated with, that's what's going to get you the orders, no matter what type of economy we're in.
That's cool. That's a really good, I like that. That's a good story. So social media, obviously, that's a big part of you and what you're doing. It's also a big part of everybody's life in business today.
Yeah.
So what are some things you're seeing people doing both right and wrong on social?
Oh, well, I would say, I actually want to say that I think most people are doing it right. which probably is a very bold statement, and very few people are doing it wrong. And I'm gonna quantify that a little bit, because doing social media right is being your authentic self. So I think the only way to do it wrong is to go on and push for sale and get a spam bot and be inauthentic. If you're on social media and you're using it as the, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, whatever you're doing, and you're being authentically you, whether that's, a big goofy girl that gets herself locked in parking garages occasionally, or if it's, people like you and Bill that are consistently pushing really amazing content, whatever that is, I think that means that you're doing it right. Now, take into consideration that whatever you put out there, not everybody's going to like it, but we're obviously very big Seth Godin advocates here, and we find our tribe. And so by being authentically you, there's that you could be the biggest, sweetest, juiciest, most amazing peach on the planet, and there's always going to be somebody that doesn't like peaches. You're not looking for everybody to like you. You just want the right people to follow you. And the unfortunate byproduct of that is some people are by nature better storytellers, or they're more likable. They're going to have more followers, but that doesn't, denigrate the viability of the content that other people are producing. Maybe it's not as frequently or not as interesting to the broad range of people, but that's okay, because not everybody has to like it. Just the right people have to like it for what you're trying to communicate. So hope that makes sense.
Yeah, that's a great take. Actually, I think it's because I've taken a different tack than many times, and I really honestly, it made me think a little bit to say, all right, well, maybe I need to extend more grace to people who are doing it differently than me, because they're doing it their way. And that makes sense to me. That makes sense to me.
Yeah, and I think, even between you and me and Bill and Bobby, he was one of the people that I think of the most. So I think there's a way to you and Bill. I love that. First Wednesday on Pepper is going to be on Promo Kitchen's website. We know that every Tuesday we are going to have a Petri dish from Bill coming out, and there's something to be said about the consistency of the way that you guys produce content. And then there's the Bobby, who's obviously not on Facebook anymore, but he still blogs quite frequently. But when he was on Facebook, his posts were so few and far between. It was really infrequent that Bobby would ever say anything. But when he did come on and he did post, it's like, whoa, stop what you're doing. Bobby said something.
Right.
And so there's something to be said about that too. So, and I think I'm kind of at the middle of the road. I'm not necessarily producing thought-provoking, life-challenging, life-changing content every day, but I tell my story, and I like to bring people along for the ride with me. I'm a sanguine girl. I am hyper-social, so for me, social media is just a way to bring my friends with me everywhere I go, which, and it's just a different way of doing social media. And again, I don't think any way is right or wrong. It just helps you tell a different story in a different way.
Okay, cool. So my final question for you, Charity, is, you and I are both a part of Promo Kitchen, which, for those who don't know, is a nonprofit here in our industry that essentially focuses on mentorship and education, and you've been doing it longer than I have. Why? Why is it a good thing to be a part of, and why do you spend your time and energy on something like this?
Well, I ask myself that question every day. No, I'm just kidding. I love Promo Kitchen. I'm really just there for the phone calls and crazy emails that we exchange. But no, you know what? I love Promo Kitchen. I was invited to Promo Kitchen back in the beginning of time when it first started out, mostly because of my social media skills, and just because I've never missed a day of work in my life when it comes to being on Facebook. You can Facebook when you're sick or on vacation, and so that was just a good way for the Promo Kitchen community to deliver our message to the promotional products industry. But beyond why I came into it, as far as a skill level is concerned, I accepted because I love the idea of this industry remaining relevant and the need for positive disruption and community collaboration. I think those are the biggest things. When you go back to the very beginning question about me being a disruptor, that's where it comes from. So talking about, where the market's headed and what's going to happen moving forward, the Promo Kitchen kids are on top of it. And there's not a fear-based mentality, which I love. And then I love the community that Promo Kitchen procures. The meeting of the minds, competitors, suppliers, distributors, service providers, across different just organizations within the industry. We're all able to kind of come together and make things happen for the good of the whole. And I love the autonomy. We can kind of say what we want a little bit because we don't have ties to anybody. So we can just be honest and really hash out the things that need to be hashed out. We can take on problems that need to be fixed head on, and we kind of lead the charge in finding a solution. And so I love that. And then the elevation aspect of it, I guess.
Yeah.
Just that we kind of, I can't think of the word for it. We reach that hand back or down or
right, yeah.
laterally. It's not, we're not even above or anything like that. We are of all different levels, all different experience. We all bring different tenure and different things to the table. And I love that we reach out to different people in the community to bring their skill sets. And I love Jojo the Clown. So I have kids, obviously. Back in the day, there was a TV show, Jojo the Clown. And one of my favorite quotes, it's on my Facebook profile, it says, "Each of us can do some things so that together we can do all things." And I think as an industry, we need to really embrace that. Distributor, learn what your suppliers go through on a daily basis. Suppliers have such a different system and process that they go through to fulfill an order, and distributors have such a different, way of doing things and a different way to communicate with the end buyer. And by sharing those experiences and best practice and even frustrations, get it out there, because if we don't know, as now I'm a supplier, like if we don't know that there's an issue on the supplier side, then we can't fix it for distributors. And so we foster that communication. We foster collaboration. I think that's why Promo Kitchen gets me so excited. And then the level of creativity that people have blows me away. I'm so far below the curve when it comes to what's possible. It's just fascinating to be around all of the people that we either bring to our parties or get into our mentorship program. Endless possibilities and ridiculously intelligent people.
Yeah,
so
no, that's good stuff. That's really good stuff. So you've answered my 3 questions. I appreciate that. I give everybody the chance to ask me one question. Do you have one for me?
Oh, I have been thinking about this for 2 days now, all morning long. I don't know what I want to ask you. Can we make it interactive? So people that are watching this have to go into the comments and read my question, and you have to go into the comments and answer it. How about that?
I like it. Okay, cool. All right, so
that's my disruptive creativity. It's all about buying
in the comments, Charity's going to ask me her question, and then I will answer that question and any of the other ones that come up on this episode.
Perfect.
Sounds like a plan?
That sounds like a plan.
Dig it. Okay. Well, thank you so much for joining me, Charity. I really appreciate it. We'll do it again sometime, okay?
Awesome. Thanks, Kirby.
All right. That wraps up this edition of Delivering Marketing Joy. We'll talk to you next time. Thanks for watching, but wait! Can you do me a favor? Please subscribe to my channel. If you haven't done it already, the way to do it's right over here. And hey, if you want to watch the last episode, check that out over here. Again, before you leave, subscribe!